Warning, what you are about to hear will disrupt the norm. We are the voice of the social misfit. We empower the outliers.
Nah, don't run from the discomfort. You need to stay in it. Feel the feels and feel some type of way. Let it hit your core, because that's where our healing and our change begins.
System malfunction. System override. I'm feeling triggered!
Yo, I got caught up just watching the intro because it looks so good.
Hey.
It looks so... If y'all only knew where we started to where we are right now, you just have to acknowledge.
We only get bigger and better, man. What's going on, folks? How y'all feeling today? It's your girl.
When you started the intro, I thought you was gonna say your name.
I was waiting for you to do it.
I just had to acknowledge the intro.
Anyway, let's go. Come on.
Okay, y'all. Welcome to Feeling Trigger Podcast with your girl, Lauren Jones.
And it's your boy, Jarrell T.G. And we got a special guest in the building today. Y'all see him a little bit later, but go ahead. Tell them what's up, Joy.
Yo, name's Jordan Francis. Got here a week ago, met these two amazing people, and they said they'd let me into the podcast, so I'm just here as a guest, talking along, that kind of thing, so I'll be here.
Oh yeah.
I'm super excited that you're here, and I'm super excited to do this podcast because I got the feels. I have a lot of feels.
Got a lot of feels today.
I have a lot of feels, and I'm excited to share them with you. So the first segment is Feel the Feels.
Feel the feels. I'm not even going to impede on your feel the feels part. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
And then I'll just feel my feels based off of what you feel. How about that?
Okay, that works. You guys, I am upset. I'm angry, but below that, I'm really disappointed. I'm hurt. I am still in shock. I'm still in shock about the news that I received on Sunday, and I'm still processing it, but I'm also a little heartbroken. I'm swirling around between all those different feels. So I'm in that negative energy space right now with what's going on.
I understand. And we'll get to why specifically she's feeling that way. Mm-hmm. But just know it's these are very authentic emotions. These are very warranted emotions that she's expressing to us today. Mm-hmm. And we'll get to that in a second. In terms of me and myself and how I'm feeling, I actually was feeling pretty good prior to learning the reason why, Boss Lady feeling the way that she's feeling today. I was feeling pretty good. We had a great last month, man.
We did.
February was so awesome. We had so much going on. I counted. We literally went 5 straight weeks having an event of some capacity, geared towards the SLOTH Wellness Lounge and bringing people and collaborating and connecting and celebrating artists and just 5 straight weeks. Like,
that's insane,
bro. Listen, when I tell you, last Friday we're recording this on a Tuesday. Last Friday we were supposed to have our March Propel Boss meeting, and we were just like, first of all, we were so overwhelmed by all the stuff that was happening in February that we didn't even get a chance to really promote that we was having it.
Right.
That was the first thing. And then on top of that, it was just like the sheer exhaustion, both mental, physical, whatever, of having gone so many weeks and not just attending events, but literally hosting events 5 straight weeks in a row. It was a lot, but it felt really good when we got to the end of it because I remember where we started. Like, I remember the first conversation I had with you after we talked about the SLOTH Lounge opening. Yep. I said, okay, well, check this out. We're going to open in the end of January, February, we're going up. Like, it's going to be a whole vibe. And it was bringing it to fruition. Like, so much was like, we had the mixer first, where we met some dope new vendors that's now in the network. People came through, and the vendors were so impressed because they were like, it was an intimate setting. We all know the SLOTH Lounge, like, we like to have intimate gatherings. We haven't thrown no big blowout type of stuff as of yet. It's coming.
Oh yeah.
But right now, we just working within the network and doing the things how we do. So the vendors is like, despite the fact that this been such a small, intimate event, like we felt like it was worth coming to. First of all, they made money because the people that we brung out supported these black
Showed
businesses,
so much love,
which is awesome. And then they also got in collaboration with each other, with the rest of the artists and entrepreneurs that was here at the mixer. It was super dope.
and not only that, but they got featured on Artful Conductor TV.
Facts.
Then with us, you get plugged in a lot of different other opportunities that we have going on. So that was just a free tidbit that
was just easy.
we provided them.
That was easy. And so that was the first one. So then the second one was basically like a montage party, if you will. So it was Jay Nicole, which is another Propel boss. She is a part of the Grill Sphere, J123, which is our cool little collaborative that we have. She's also my fiance. So we had her birthday / our engagement party / the launch party for another podcast on Artful Conductor TV that y'all gotta go check out, The Chronicles of J123. So we had the launch party here. We did like a group karaoke. Like it was dope, fun time. Then we set it up the month of February specifically with the open mic. And I thought the open mic was vicious.
Yeah, it was.
We had some dope artists here, bro. Like, so we had what's this? Sherman came.
Oh yep.
Sherman was here.
Political candidate.
Political candidate. What is he's running for?
He's running for county executive.
County executive. So look out for Sherman Hardy, right? Sherman Hardy, running for county executive. He came through, showed love. Never met him before in my life. I don't know if he was already in your network or not.
Mike's network.
Okay, cool. So that's awesome. He came through, showed love, and now he's connected with the SLOTH Lounge.
And he's got an event in April coming. So
we're doing some stuff with him. And so then, February was over. For the Love of the People was over. We was like, cool, let's relax. And then I was like, well, my birthday is literally the week after February. Like the first week of March is my birthday. And it was a significant one. You know what I'm saying? Griot turns 30. People always say dirty 30. I don't really like how that sounds like that.
I can respect that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and flirty 30 is kind of weird. Like,
it would be weird.
So I just said Grill turns 30, like 30. So we had the Purple Haze Social here. And
it's exactly what it sounds like.
That party was so lit. Like I'm trying to tell you, like it was good times, man. It was good times. A lot of good people here. Made more contacts. We had all black.
That was the first time we had a DJ here.
DJ Sean. Shout out my man DJ Sean the Monster. That's my man from way back. He came through, pulled up, showed love. We had black catering. My man Daniel and his dad, they do catering, so they catered the food. Of course, Lauren and parties help with the decorative aspects. Shout out to Artesian, Venues by Artesian for running the fire pit.
Yep.
It was just a great time, man. So in terms of me and how I'm feeling, I'm in a good place. And I'm excited to see what is to come. However, I do sympathize and empathize with what Lauren's feeling. And so that will lead us into our next segment, that is feeling triggered. Now, Lauren, let's slow walk this, okay? Let's not get overwhelmed. Let's just feel them, okay? Express them and release them. We're going to do that because it's the family.
Okay, you guys.
What's going on? Tell the people what happened.
For the trigger warning segment, I want to tell you a tale. So we have this program called Remix Rage Smash Room. You might be familiar with it. You might not be.
Shout out to the Smash Room.
But we have a Smash Room in Temple Hills, and we've been accepting donations. So appliances, electronics, glassware, and really we live off of those donations because just starting out, we don't have the revenue to purchase junk for people to destroy. And the community has really been showing out support. And I want to give a special shout out to William of Brahman Hauling because he really blessed us with 6 refrigerators and 6 stoves. And I need to have this pregnant pause here.
6
refrigerators and 6 stoves. Okay, so 6 major appliances, 6 sets of major appliances. This was gonna set us for all of April, and we have 2 private events in April too, so we didn't have to worry. It's March, it's mid-March. We were like, oh, we don't have to worry about April, because normally we scramble for junk for the upcoming Saturday. So we were like, we're set, we can relax, we can focus on other things of the Smash Room because inventory is good.
So let me pause right there. So if you're watching or you're listening to this right now, and you know of anyone, whether it be a business or person, whatever, that has stuff that they're trying to get rid of, please donate. Please donate to Remix Ray Smash Room. First of all, Propel Productions is a non-profit organization.
Facts.
So whatever you donate is tax deductible. And you know tax season is right here. Tax season is right here. So you still got a chance. Well, nah, it's too late now. But get your 2022 deductions by donating to this non-profit, man. I just want to put that out there because I feel like people don't really understand, because I feel like, you get a lot of people that are just generous and have a charitable spirits. They just do for others just because. But a lot of people need some incentive. So for those of y'all, we're not judging. Everybody's in their own stage of life. We're not judging. But if you needed that little extra incentive, especially my young entrepreneurs, please, I just did my taxes. When I tell you deductions are life. Deductions are life. So any opportunity that you have to find some deductions for your business, take advantage. And Propel Production is a place where you can do that. So that's all that's it, man. Make sure y'all bring some stuff over to the Smash Room.
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I was just there Monday, saw the stuff. I even took pictures. It's on, if you follow us at remixrage_Smash Room, you can see the fridge and the stoves up there. On Sunday, when we arrived to the Smash Room, all of it, all 6 refrigerators, all 6 stoves were stolen. Just ripped from the property. Now, mind you, for those of you guys that don't know, Remix Rage Smash Room is on church property. So it's on New Image Baptist Church property. So someone drove onto the church property, drove past the church, arrived at the Smash Room, and jacked our stuff.
And do you know how much manual labor it takes to take 6 refrigerators and 6 wash and dry?
The manual labor, the space, what kind of vehicle?
What are you even doing?
I don't know.
With 6 refrigerators and 6 washer dryers that people donated to be destroyed.
Right.
What do you do with them? Is it like cars? Do you go chop them up for parts? What do you do with that?
So my parents believe that it's some type of metal scavenger. So you can apparently collect metal and drop it off with the city and get paid for metal. So my parents assumed that someone was just riding around, saw the metal, was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna cop that, and I guess brought a whole crew, because you couldn't just be one person.
Facts. And a couple of lifts or something. You gonna need them.
And my thing is, okay, bulk pickup. As the owner of the Smash Room, yes, you do ride around different dumpsters and sites and you pick up junk, but these were so neatly placed, not on the curb, not next to the trash cans. This was not labeled as free. This was not labeled as tape. Up against the building.
Yeah.
So I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot just talking about it. I'm so disappointed, just disappointed. I'm just hurt. I don't know who would steal from a nonprofit, who would steal from a business. I don't know who would steal, period. It's not your property. You don't know nothing about the building or the Smash Room, but for you to feel so confident to just walk up, I want that. I'm gonna take it. It just blows my mind. And the fact that we're a small business, the fact that we're a Black-owned business, it's not like we have a lot of hands
Facts.
that are gifting us philanthropy and money and support. We get it when we can, but it's not consistent. And so that really cuts deep. So
Yeah, man. So
Yes.
shout out to y'all, whoever y'all are that thought that was like, you know, of course we live in some very trying times. So I'm not going to judge your situation, but just know that that was not a cool move, because just like you, I'm going to assume, I want to assume, are doing stuff that's in the best interest of you and your family and whatever. That's what we over here as Black solopreneurs practically. We do collaborate with a lot of other Black-owned businesses, but everybody owns their own and gotta get their own. So for y'all to come and, you know, violate in that capacity, whether y'all knew it or not, is yeah, man. I mean, you know, and we God's people, so it's not like it's not gonna come back. You know, no weapons. You feel me? No weapons is forming. However, I don't really think. Now, this is just in my enthusiastic and aspirational ways. I don't personally think what you got out of that situation is going to be worth, you know, the cycle of life. I'm going to call it that. I don't personally think that 6 broken you know, broken refrigerators and washer dryers, I don't believe that you getting that, whatever you got from that, is going to in any way equate to how do I say this politically correct?
you might not need to be political.
The consequences.
You might not need to be political.
The consequences of dealing with favorite individuals. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there, because it's not our battle no more. You know, we're gonna talk about how we're gonna overcome this obstacle, even from the inside out, whatever. But you just know, man, that stuff like that don't go unanswered. Like, and that's not no way. I don't want people to think I'm threatening or being anything like that. I just know, as a person of faith, that when you mess with favorite individuals, it does not go unanswered. So I pray for y'all.
I want to pan to Jordan real quick. Well, we don't have to pan to him, but I want to. This is Jordan's first time hearing what has happened with the Smash Room, and I just want to get his opinion on what he thought about the story and what happened.
Make sure it's on too.
It's on too? All right,
Go
testing
ahead.
1 2 1 2. Okay, so
Hold on. Because it ain't registering.
It's registering now.
Check. There you go.
Are we good now?
Alright, cool.
So, Smash Room, I'll just say this. I'll say this for one. Like, that's crazy. Because, like, I came in here, like, they were talking about all these cool new things they had going on in the SLOTH Lounge. I thought it was cool, right? So, the Smash Room, that truck caught my attention the first time I came here. Because, like, you know, it's this big truck, like, you know, it's painted all over. It says Smash Room. It looked cool, right? So, I was excited to try it out. And, you know, hearing this, like, it's crazy now. Because, like, you know, 6 refrigerators, dryers, someone rolled up with the crew, grabbed everything, and drove off with all that. I mean, I agree. Like, it's probably not going to go unanswered, but I'm not threatening either. I don't think I'm old enough to do that legally anyway. But look, I'm just saying, what goes around comes around. So whoever got these washers, dryers, whatever, that I was planning on beating up in the truck,
Exactly.
you know, I mean, it's coming back. That's all I'm going to say.
Boom. I just am gonna say one more thing, and then I'm gonna dead it. You didn't just, the people, your team, didn't just steal from Propel, didn't just steal from Remix Rage Smash Room. You stole essentially from the entire community, because we're creating really fun, interactive programs to help people process their mental health and process their stress, process their anger. And you deprived them of that opportunity. Who knows how many different community members would have really benefited from those 6 refrigerators and 6 stoves. Because I'm telling you what, our schedule is packed. Like, we're now accepting people into late April. So there's definitely people within the community who want to check out this. So you stole not just from me, not just from my business, but you stole from the entire community of Prince George's County. So I hope that sits with you and resonates with you. Okay. But I'm going to dead it because like Jarrell said, it's really not, I don't need to worry about it anymore. I just wanted to speak that truth and I want it out in the community. I want it resonating. But me personally, me and my team are washing our hands. We're done. We know that God is going to provide tenfold. So we're just going to wait and be in expectance of receiving the blessing.
Yes.
But I still want that to marinate with you in your spirit. So
Just let it sit.
it's just going to sit there.
Just let it sit. Watch. It's going to they're going to bring them back.
Oh!
They're going to bring them back.
Yo,
They're going to bring them back.
if that does happen, we'll keep you updated.
They're bring them back.
We might give you Smash Room updates
You know what I'm
throughout
saying?
the thing.
Man, that's. But I think what's the wildest part for me, and it's kind of, I'm not gonna get too deep about it, but it's like the overarching idea that it's like crabs in a barrel, like. And when we think about crabs in the barrel, sometimes we think about like people who are maliciously trying to pull their people back, like maliciously, like I'm doing this intentionally to try to stop you from being successful. And what's unfortunate, which is why I feel like I kind of took the stance I did, is because a lot of times you only see it as like scarcity of resources and I gotta get mine. So it's not even always a case where somebody is maliciously trying to hold another black person in the back, trying to stunt the growth of another black business. It's the mentality that it's not enough for everyone. So if you see somebody that's getting ahead, you got to figure out how you can take the resources that they have that got them ahead and put you ahead. But it's like, if we really understood the concept of like, rising tides lifts all boats, then it'd be a little bit more, I would say, for the normal person. I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking about the malicious individuals who just literally have something against black business and all that stuff, but I'm just talking about the every other person that has in some way impeded on somebody else's success. If we really understood how collaborative economics, which we talk, or cooperative economics, which we talk about, collaborations amongst black businesses, which we always talking about, if we really got the concept of how effective that is. Looking at other communities, look at other cultures, like when they have solidified their community by working together, having common causes that they're working towards, having common ideologies, and not to say that any culture is a monolith, but they have group think in some capacity, to whereas when I say group think, I'm not just thinking about me. I'm thinking about myself, but I'm also thinking about how this affects the whole. And I feel like we don't have that. And when we don't have that, that puts us in situations where we go rob from our own people, man. And that's to presume that the people look like us that did this. And I only assume that because we live in a space where it's probably predominantly people that look like us. So it's like, I think that's a safe assuming, I'm making strong assumptions, but I don't feel too against it. It's not like we live in a place that's super, super diverse. I mean, we have some other people, but we are us around here.
Yeah, we're here.
We're the us. We're the we. So,
we are.
I don't know. So
I just have to
just woosah out a little bit. Woosah out a little bit, because, like you said, man, it's
live processing.
And is there some levels of? I mean, because it's not like they broke it, even though that happened too. That has happened to the church as well. So do you feel a sense of like violation, or does it get that far because it was still just like stuff sitting? I mean, I'm saying, I feel like it'd be a little bit different, like if somebody broke into your car and stole something out, broke the window and did all that, versus just like, oh, I see some random, what other people may assume was just trash sitting outside, and just took it. So do you feel like a sense of violation? Do you feel like you've been violated in some way?
Yes, I do. Why, yes, I do, Jarrell. I do feel
Okay,
violated.
well, please do share. Do share with us.
Yeah, I think it's because there was so much effort going into making this happen.
Yeah.
So one, getting New Image, allowing us to use this space. So there's trust and relationship there. Then there's also relationship with this other Black-owned business who does junk hauling and trash removal. So building that relationship there, and just knowing that that one instant kind of created this rift as far as all of the time, all of the energy, all of the resources, all of the support that led up to that moment. Like in a blink of an eye, it was shattered. And it was exhausting because it's kind of like, it took so long to get this. It felt like Christmas morning when it was there.
Yeah.
So I definitely got that Grinch, like.
How long in the process of like, is this like a personal contact, like, or how did y'all come about
So
even acquiring them?
honestly, it all started with, well, you know, the situation, bulk removal has been moving kind of.
Real trash.
It's been kind of difficult.
Real trash.
So we have these up and coming junk removal companies that drive into the neighborhoods, thanks to like HOAs or collaborations, drive into the neighborhood and just collect trash just because, to kind of help offset the load of the bulk trash removal. So there was randomly him and his company just riding around collecting shopping carts and TVs, and I was like, nice to meet you. I live right here. I noticed that you're hauling that junk. I don't know where you're gonna put it, but if you mind, we have a smash room. So we kind of organically started that relationship.
That's dope.
So he keeps me in mind whenever he goes to bigger jobs. So he had a big job. I think he was clearing out a corporate office or a apartment, something. And he was like, yo, I got this, I gotta offload it. And so I think it was, I wanna say no, that was too late. I think he contacted me around your birthday. But anyway, dropped off the stuff on Saturday. I saw the stuff Sunday and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And then the following week, so it was within 7 days, it was gone. So we didn't even get to use not one thing. We didn't get to haul it to our spot or location. And
it's like, man, we need storage.
I just
something
didn't even have the fact that we didn't even have an opportunity to just touch it.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. It's all good though. We're gonna upgrade. Cause you know what I see from you know what I see from you, Miss Rachel. Can we dream talk for a second?
We might need to dream talk.
Like, just cause I personally see like we getting like a warehouse. Like we have multiple rooms that can get set up and people can facilitate at the same time. And have storage for all types of like and organically coming together with other Black-owned businesses like that trash removal company, and then it just become like a pipeline. Like they just dropping stuff off every day, every week, and we just have like abundance. Like that's what I see for all of the things that we're doing, and I see it largely because of the idea of like the sprouting that we've been doing. Like everything that we've put our hands on in the past, this is going on 6 years. I always say that, like it's been like 6 years.
Yeah, 2016.
Like in the past 6 years, like everything we put our hands on has grown in some capacity, has put us in direct conversation with somebody, you know, that before the opportunity didn't know nothing about Propel, didn't know nothing about the grill sphere, didn't know nothing about nothing. So I just see a bunch of abundance coming, like, and sometimes, you know, you gotta have that setback to kind of catapult you in the direction that we're going. And you know, we gotta, I feel like, you know, and not to be too figurative, but peaks and valleys, yo, the deeper your valleys, the higher your peaks are. Like people that don't go through a lot of adversity, they don't see a lot of high levels of reward and high levels of success because it's the trajectory. If I know that this pitfall or this, you know, decline, this descend, if you will, is going to catapult me to being up here, I'll take this. Most people are traveling real linear right now. So yeah, you're not taking a lot of loss, but you're not getting a lot of gain either.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime I see a situation that's a big loss that we took. Like, even if you count like, even if you count like,
so big,
like the dollar amount, like the average refrigerator, even the old refrigerator going for at least a couple hundred.
How about it?
At least a couple hundred. You know what I'm saying? That's at least a couple hundred times 6. You know,
And then plus the stove.
plus the stoves, at
Times
least
6.
a couple hundred times 6. So it's like that's a huge loss. That's a huge deficit that we took. However, as I said, with trajectory, bro, the further that you fall, it's higher that you can ascend to. So I just see, as a result of this, we're gonna be looking back at this a year from now and like, yo, what is 6 refrigerators, yo? We got a whole warehouse full of it looked like Circuit City back there, like.
That would be, ooh, yes, I received that.
You feel me? So
Mark this day.
as I said, what's today? The 20, not 20. Today's the
15th.
15th. March 15th, yo. 2022. We speaking it. And it's on record. So y'all know.
It is on record. And speaking of on record, that's one thing I really do appreciate about our podcast, because when you watch Entrepreneurship Rises and Falls, you normally watch after they've made it and they're just reflecting on their success story and all the things that they had to do, and insert really inspirational quote here, and let's tour the multi-million-dollar facility. But with the Fill and Trigger podcast, we are...
Did y'all hear that? She slid that in there real humbly. She slid that in there.
But with the Fill and Trigger podcast...
that made me feel good in my spirit. What my man Willie Moore Jr. be like, in my shaman. It feel good. Multi-million-dollar, man, get out of here. What?
And we're gonna get
got
there.
a whole wing. You know what I'm saying? Propel Productions got a whole wing.
And you're gonna
got
get
a whole
that.
wing.
But I say Grillsphere is gonna produce that docuseries
we got
for
that.
us.
We got that.
But the Fill and Trigger podcast gives you... Let us walk you through our entrepreneurial journey right now.
Hands
Our
on,
highs,
in the
our
mix.
lows, how we're navigating stuff, how we're processing stuff. I just think it's a very authentic, behind the scenes type of...
I agree.
Welcome to the life of an entrepreneur, a Black-owned entrepreneur in Prince George's County, and this is how we're processing and dealing with all of the challenges and obstacles that come our way. And we hope that we say something that triggers you, but also fulfills you and inspires you to keep going and to connect with us, because we're here and readily available. So that was that.
That was the meat and potatoes.
That was the story for this week.
Yeah, she really listen, guys. Because
happened.
we was going because, as I said, we was real busy last month. We busy this month. You know, we're trying to find spaces in the schedule to put more opportunities to record so that we can get more episodes out on Alpha Conductor. And we was actually going to postpone today, but Lauren's like, yo, I gotta talk about this, bro. I gotta get this off. So here we are. How you feel? Was that a good release? Was that a good express and release moment for you?
It was a good express and release moment. I had another express and release moment as well. Immediately.
Check that job. Hey, yo, go to Propel Productions. Go to Propel Productions and check out that IGTV video of her just giving you, like, shout out to you had the Equation merch on in that video.
I did.
Too.
You saw that? Okay.
I was like, yeah, she had the Equation merch on the video. But go check the video out on Propel Productions, because you could see all of the emotions.
And I had my sunglasses on too, so
she was emitting like, ooh, I wish I knew who did this.
I did.
She was having.
I did.
She had a little bit of vengeance in her eyes, y'all.
Guys
she was
still working on me.
And you be looking big boss when you driving around in that big old truck. Anyway, come on, guys. Like, Lauren's like, what you like 5'6", 5'6", driving and getting behind a big old
14-foot
box truck. So she already in the driver's seat looking real. And then she giving them hell, bro. She is giving them hell. Like, how could you? Like, why would you even think that would be like? She was giving it to her. So y'all go check that video out, man.
I did.
Y'all go check that out.
And I already was saying stuff before my mom was like, I should record this. Let me just. So I already said stuff, and then she captured that moment, and then I said more stuff, and then I got to say it here. So this is part of the expressing and releasing process. And we were on the way to the smash room, so I got to break bottles soon.
You had to get that off, man.
I was
You had to
like,
get that off.
all of us need to just break stuff right now.
Get that off, man.
But no, I feel good, and no, I'm sorry. No. I don't feel good, but I feel better. I feel better. So I'm just
It'll
able
only
to.
get better. It's only gonna get better.
Wait, let me just do.
They gonna bring it back.
I just need to do one more.
They're gonna hear your frustration,
more.
and they gonna bring them back. They be like, "Dang, I didn't even know, bro. Like, I didn't even know, bro. I thought this was trash. I thought y'all was just like cleaning out the church type of vibe." Like,
And I was like, but you left trash right here.
Wait,
Let me
they left trash?
So apparently the fridges weren't all the way empty when they were dropped off.
So they emptied the fridge out.
So they left the trash.
Okay.
And
So
took
now
the
y'all are dirtbags. Okay.
So I cleaned up refrigerator and trash.
And it's not even
I
your
was like-
refrigerator. These are some random refrigerators. You guys are trash.
Like
Okay.
expired
You guys are
Go-Gurt,
trash.
broken eggs.
Once
like,
again, not making assumptions. It could be women, huh? Could be black women. They do a lot of good things out here, and sometimes not so good things. So it might be them too. I don't want to just put it on my brothers.
Okay.
It's a lot of females out here moving dirty. So whoever it was, male or female, non-binary, whatever. Hey,
Right.
man, you trash, man.
any color, really.
Trash.
We talking to you.
Trash. Whoever you are. Okay.
Okay,
So
you're right.
Let's go to transition.
You're right.
So being that was our feeling trigger segment for today.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning segment. You feeling
Trigger warning,
Trigger
yeah.
warning segment.
On
feeling triggered.
Yep.
So we always go into talking about one of the segments of our wellness wheel following that. And most oftentimes that particular segment or section or whatever pillar of the wellness wheel is in direct correlation with what we talked about in trigger warning. So what is our wellness wheel segment for today?
So Jarrell, for today's wellness wheel segment. Okay, actually it was kind of challenging to choose just one wellness segment because this incident pulled on so many different things. Like it wrecked the financials. There's a little bit of trustworthiness rift within the social support within the community. But I think that after talking it through, we landed on spiritual wellness because that's what I'm leaning on right now to help process and get me through this.
Glory.
So I am a believer. I believe in God. I identify as Christian. I'm not one of those that jam this down your throat, but I make it painstakingly clear that that's me. That's what I stand on.
And you know what I feel like, especially with millennials and beyond, Christianity has kind of like, I won't say diluted itself because I don't want to put it in that sense. However, I do believe that because of our accepting of the world, we've managed to just stand on unadulterated truth, which God is. God is truth, right? We as Christians believe that, God is truth, God is light, God is love, God is wisdom. He's a lot of things, right?
Yes.
But in our accepting, we stand on truth that is like, this can't be refuted by, regardless of what you personally believe. Like, it's some things that it's just like, yeah, man, that makes sense. Like, I can't say, Lauren can't come in and say, I believe, I have faith in the fact that the sky is blue. You could say that, but everybody's gonna look at you like, yeah, like that's not a hard belief because we can look up and see it. And it's like when you speak, when you reference, when you use God's absolute truth as the foundation of where you coming from, it's kind of hard to refute from anybody. So I feel like with us, even in this particular situation, how we described it, we didn't have no vile or vicious things to say about the people who did these wrongdoings. However, we spoke absolute truth. We said,
yeah, we
when
did.
you mess with somebody that's favored, it ain't gonna just go unanswered. You know, it might not be personally our doing that makes things happen, but it doesn't go unanswered. So I feel like in that space, like spiritual wellness is about really truly understanding what your absolute truth is.
Yeah, it also has to do with like being curious and understanding your purpose and the meaning behind things, like overall life. And so I landed on that because even if you don't identify as Christian, you don't believe in God, just with spiritual wellness, you can just wonder, what was the point? What was the purpose? What's the overall story, and how does this fall into play, and how is it going to work out? So, and I think it's okay to ask those questions. I think it's okay to be curious about life and what my purpose is, our purpose. What was the purpose of that incident? What's about to unfold next? I'm looking forward to seeing, because being a human, you don't know how the story or how life is going to unfold. You just kind of live moment by moment. So after experiencing that moment, moving into this space, like, okay, so you didn't want the Smash Room to have that. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Smash Room is gonna have. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna provide or how you're gonna bless, but I hate these moments, but I love these moments where I am so limited, if that makes sense, where I come to the end of myself because I am so motivated to be like very independent and figure things out by myself and not necessarily need anybody, but it's nice to have, but not necessarily rely on. So whenever I get to these moments where I'm like, I ain't got nothing left. I don't know what to do next. I don't know how to feel. I don't have the resources to make that happen again. That was miraculous in and of itself, and now poof, it's gone. So I'm just sitting here realizing that, I mean, Lauren, you don't have nothing in control.
Bigger job, he gonna have
so
a bigger
he's gonna,
job.
Yes.
He gonna be like, yo, our dump site has become whatever, and
I'm
now we
looking
just
for
gonna need. Something's going to turn to this that's going to make this story so funny and so like ironic that it's just. I like God's humor and the intricacy of stories. Like, of course, as the griot, my whole spiel is focusing on storytelling, understanding what your story means, because like Lauren says, that story has purpose. We all are, the main characters of our own personal stories, but we are minor blips in God's overarching story, and he never disappoints. I mean, the word has been New York Times bestseller forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he's not a good storyteller. So I just want to see where this rise in action climaxes and how the resolution.
I'm looking forward to. I know that I know that there's purpose behind this. He doesn't allow anything to happen in vain. And so now I'm just watching and seeing and hoping and being in posture of expectation to see what's going to happen next. So he looks out for, like what Jarrell said, the favorite. So I'm looking out to see what he does for me. And I think that leaning on my spiritual wellness, focusing on cultivating it and maturing it and growing it, is helping me ride this wave. Because I don't think if I didn't have a relationship with God, I definitely feel like this spiral, this valley can land you in some very dark, twisted places. And for those of us that don't have a relationship, you might not see the catapult or the setup for a comeback type of trajectory in position for you. You needed to get into that valley to get on that catapult to sling to the next thing. And so I'm very grateful to rely on my spiritual wellness and my connection and just sit back and say, all right, so clearly you didn't want me to handle this, which is cool. I need to relax anyway. So you got it. All right, cool. So you tell me when to move. I'll move. But until then, I'm going to just be in the posture of expectation, and you're already working. It's already done. So I know things are just going to fall into place. So that's where I'm at with that.
Wholeheartedly, man. I'm receiving that too, because I mean, I be so overwhelmed by the idea of like how everything is as it's supposed to be for where you're supposed to go. Like you said, especially in entrepreneurship, because with working in working a government job or just working a 9 to 5, you have that stability that makes you forget like there's things outside of you that is contributing to what you are, where you are, and who you are in this moment. And it's like when you're an entrepreneur and you're solely focused and you're solely relying upon what you have access to, what you can do, what your, skill set is or whatever, and then things start happening, it's like, yo, it can't be no other idea except he's doing it, because I know I can't do this by myself. I can't. There's no way. Like I think about, man, I would be, and as of April 19th, I will be 1 full year in entrepreneurship. Pay bills every month. Praise God. Never went like, yo. I mean, there was moments where you get a little.
Lord.
Hey, bro. Hey, listen. Hey, bro, listen here. Listen, hey, these jumps do next week, bro. What you gonna do? But not always coming when you want them, but always on time type of vibe. Like, it's so crazy. And so walking in this space, it makes me feel almost invincible, because it's like, what you gonna do? Like, no weapons. Like, what could you possibly do to stop what he got planned for me? Like, whether, and when unfortunate things happen, or, rejection happens, or whatever in your entrepreneurship journey, which rejection is going to be a very solid staple of, and it's not even rejection, it's literally like ignore you. Like, I've submitted to collaborations and submitted to contracts and literally don't hear nothing back. Like, y'all didn't even give me the wherewithal to go, hey man, we see what you're doing, but this is not what we're looking for right now, but we'll get back to you when you're ready. Just sometimes it just goes like, oh, okay. But like overall, just looking at just going like, I can't lose, bro. Like you can't lose when you watch whatever you believe in, forces outside of you, manipulating situations in your favor, when you know just your own strength, your own skill set, your own knowledge base, your own wisdom, whatever, it's not going to get you to that promised land. So just know, as you said, man, when you going to be, it's up. Regardless of who doesn't want it to be up, it's going to be up. It's going to be up. Because not only are we doing stuff, just to change the trajectory of our families personally, like we are changing stigmas around a lot of things that's going to help the greater good. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you do things in purpose, like it's much more of a rewarding aspect for all parties involved, and being that we're putting that energy into the world, it's only going to come back, bro. It's only going to come back.
You actually set the next segment up really nicely.
Real nicely.
So traditionally, we would move into the art of expression. But I talked to Jarrell offline about, I feel like we need to mix the last segment up a little bit.
We'll mix it up a little bit.
So I think we're going to do something called like docket roulette. I don't know, but I wrote that down. I was like, docket roulette.
I like that. I like how that sounds.
So you got to keep checking in with us, because you don't know what the last segment of Feeling Trick is going to be, okay?
Facts.
But today, since we're talking about, the greater good, we're talking about this purpose, this plan, we're talking about healing, and I want to talk about C.R.E.W. And I want to talk to Jordan a little bit this segment. So,
we about to bring Jordan on. So give us 2 seconds.
So I want to talk to you guys about C.R.E.W. So I guess the program spotlight. This
program
segment.
Spotlight, that's good.
Let me write that.
Good.
You know what? Because let me write that down.
Today we're doing program spotlight as our 4th segment of Feeling Trick.
Yes.
That's dope.
Okay, cool. So Propel Production Center received a grant with Prince George's County.
Shout out.
We are really excited about doing community work. And our very first program that we're launching is called C.R.E.W. And C.R.E.W stands for Collective Resiliency through Entrepreneurship and Wellness. So we are focusing on targeting high school youth within Prince George's County. We want to bring them into the SLOTH Wellness Lounge and talk to them about developing themselves as bosses, but also helping them develop and curate their businesses. And by the end of this 8-week program, there will be a pitch competition where they will be able to introduce themselves. One of those allow me to reintroduce myself to the community and talk about themselves as a founder, but also talk about themselves as a business owner. And then hopefully they'll seek refuge here with Propel Productions and with Griosphere and with the SLOTH Wellness Lounge and see us as a space where they can incubate and they can grow their businesses. So we have one of our crew participants. I'm very excited.
I'm about to say, y'all get to watch that pitch competition too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to have our own Shark Tank, bro. We're going to have our own Shark Tank on Artful Conductor TV. So make sure y'all tuned in.
So with the C.R.E.W, we meet a couple times a week and we focus on business development, but we also focus on the expressive arts and how we integrate that within business. And then we lastly talk about wellness. So we want our entrepreneurs that come out of C.R.E.W to be well-rounded. And I'm going to I'm not going to introduce. I'm going to just toss it to Jordan because he said he's ready.
He ready.
So I'm going to let Jordan introduce himself and talk a little bit about his business idea and what he wants to develop. So you guys take it away, Jordan.
All right, so what's up, y'all? First time here. I'm Jordan. First time member of C.R.E.W. I think I'm like one of the first people to be here, period.
Yes.
It's a first time program, so I'm pretty excited. I always like these kind of things. So my business idea is pretty abstract, actually. Like, I'm trying to be more artful with it, kind of. So, like, I'm doing, like, different designs for, like, different kinds of creativity aspects, like logos, decals, whether it's, like, you know, for T-shirts, book bags, cars, phone cases, anything like that. I'm just trying to, like, leave my print on the world by using, like, my different culture, that kind of thing, to, like, kind of leave my mark on everything. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited because I've had this idea in the back of my head for a while, but, you know, C.R.E.W, obviously, let me express that and, you know, helping me as I do it. So, appreciate y'all for that, but, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's what's up.
Of course.
And we're super excited to just see what we are able to, like, instill in Jordan and figuring out how best we can help him get to the next level of what he's trying to do. Because this is kind of like almost a tutorial for Propel bosses, if you will, because whether y'all know it or not, I mean, we mentioned it multiple times, but I was basically, as a Propel boss, starting out in Jordan's position. When I first started into the Griosphere, it was nothing. Like, it was nothing. It was me just being Jarrell as a contractor for Propel Productions, and of course Lauren, you know, always looking out and pulling me in on projects and helping out and stuff like that. So, you know, she was always talking about, hey, like, you need to get your company together, like, so you can step up to the table in some of these meetings, which we ended up having in 2021 and 2022. So in some of these meetings, you'll be sitting there as a fellow company, as a fellow brand, as opposed to just your individual self under somebody else. So it's like, yo, that sounds dope. Like, and so from the curation of all of the various lessons that we've gone through in the process of doing programming and stuff like that, I feel like that's kind of what seeded C.R.E.W, if you will, like understanding where most of us, especially as Black entrepreneurs or solopreneurs or whatever, where we're starting what we already had access to, and then taking that and really helping and molding it. So, Jordan, I got a couple questions for you, bro.
All right,
because
sure.
you are a week into C.R.E.W thus far, right? Just for starters, just give us like a little, like, how do you feel about it thus far? Like, what you've been exposed to, the conversations you've had, like, how do you feel about it?
Okay, so I'm feeling good, like, after the entire first week experience. But I'm gonna be honest, when I first came here, yo, like, I expected completely, like something completely different. Because most of the programs I've been doing up until now, they were more like a classroom environment kind of thing. You know, it was more like a lecture instead of like, you know, more interactive one-on-one, like, you know, kind of building on your ideas kind of thing. So when I first came in here, it didn't really feel like that kind of setting. So I really liked it. And yeah, I mean, I've been vibing with it so far. Like, I've been learning some important things. Like, you know, it doesn't take just like the idea to make the business. So you need to have like a strong foundation as well. So I've been learning that too, and I'm appreciative, you know, because like I wouldn't really know like how else I would start without, you know, these two business owners helping me along the way. So I'm pretty excited after this one, you know, 1 week I've been here, sorry. So yeah.
That's super dope, bro. That's super dope to hear. Like,
Yeah, I appreciate hearing that, because for me as a business owner, but also as a social worker, I don't say that enough. I'm a clinical social worker, y'all.
She is.
But
she don't be gassing herself, y'all.
But-
She don't be telling y'all what's going on.
in the social work space, we didn't receive the training and the education that we needed if we wanted to branch out and do our own thing. Luckily, I got to take a social entrepreneurship hybrid thing in grad school, but I was always hungry and desperate to learn more, because there's so many inner workings and so many different things that need to go into play if you want to fortify and sustain a company, and then also a lucrative one at that. And being a nonprofit, you always get those messages like, you know, it's not really about the money, or, you know, you always do it for the people, serve the community. And yeah, I want to do that, but I need to eat. There's got to be a way to find balance in both. And I think that Propel Bosses was just me developing a safe space that I needed. And it's just a space for us to come together and really process and talk through all of the stress and anxiety and imposter syndrome that we experience as solopreneurs. But then I realized that we needed some education behind it too, like actual structure, like let's curate a mission statement, let's figure out our brand and marketing, let's talk about our negotiating contracts, let's figure out what we want our rates to be, like let's talk money, you know, let's talk about all the taboo things, let's try things out with a community, you know, creating a safety net for us. And I wanted, once that was done, I was like, we need to start sooner. Being a millennial in the entrepreneurial space is great, but I'm like, man, I wish I had this in high school, because in high school, you're at the cusp of deciding, what do you want to do next? Do you want to go to the military? Do you want to go to trade school? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to start a business? And I just want this to be another opportunity. Like, I want you to be able to have another choice. You don't have to go those three routes. You can decide to start your own business, and it can be lucrative and it can be successful, and you can lean on a support system that's already stood up, which is something that I think Jarrell and I, it was few and far between having a support system. So I want crew to be that. Like, we got you. We want to be able to incubate and support your company. And then when you take off, don't forget about us, you know, throw a little philanthropy, fundraising dollars this way, because I already know you're going to take off. Okay. So we just want to be that hub of like cohesion and support.
Absolutely. I agree. As one who is assisting in that process for other people, but also personally walking through that process, I feel like this is probably one of the dopest places that as a young black entrepreneur you could come and get and network with. So, Jordan, I have another question for you. What do you feel like is your ultimate, like your pinnacle of what you want to learn while you're here for these 8 weeks? Like, what do you feel like is probably, I guess, a part of entrepreneurship that's most like mystical to you, maybe? Like, what do you feel like is something that is super, like, I need to walk away knowing this, because prior to, I had no idea. What do you think that is?
Man, too many things come to mind. But I think one of the main things for me is, like, learning how to build that network and, you know, gain a following as I'm, you know, starting out first. Because, like, how do I say this? The first thing that shied me away from being a business, apart from, you know, not having a proper foundation, is, like, after building that foundation, knowing who to contact and knowing who to be in touch with as I'm, you know, trying to build my business up. So I feel like that's one of the main things I want to learn before I leave here. So, yeah.
And network is super important, and not just, we've realized from both a collaborative experience how important your network is, because for example, we talked about For the Love of the People and all the events that we had. Every event that we had was completely Black orchestrated. Like every vendor, whether it be the food vendor, whether it be drinks, whether it be actual vendors coming in and selling their own merchandise, whether it be the entertainment. Of course, Grillsphere did like the media aspect and the production part of it. So it's like every aspect of the events we had was all not only Black owned, but was within our network. So when you talk about, having various art collaborations for t-shirts, or, you make a design, but you may not have access directly to printing, or someone who can do, 3D printing or whatever. Like, those people are important, because on one hand, if you are in a space where you don't have that in your network and you literally you become a consumer at that point. Because for example, let's say you wanted to create some hoodies, right? You made this dope design, you trademark the design, copyright design, whatever, and now it's just like, how do I go about actually putting these on hoodies and actually getting them out to the people? Well, the people who make the hoodies, if you don't have them as a part of your network, you're just another entrepreneur or another person coming to buy hoodies from them. So you've been placed back in the consumer setting. If you don't have anybody that does printing, you're just another consumer going to a printing business and getting that printing off. But when you become, bring these people as a part of your network, or they become a part of your network, it then becomes a collaborative situation. So whereas a normal consumer will have to pay $100 for 3 hoodies, they say, hey, I won't charge you $100 for 3 hoodies, but we can negotiate to where I just get a percentage of the sale. So that's different, being a consumer versus being a fellow business owner. And being able to come to the table with the understanding of how to use your network. Because I feel like a lot of people, I went through a couple of phases, because I did what's it called, network marketing and stuff like that. Like, I had some surface level exposure to entrepreneurship early on, and it's not necessarily the people that you have in your network, it's how you understand how they can be beneficial to you and how you can be beneficial to them, right? So in that, I like that you said, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to gain a network and then use it effectively so that my business can be successful. But a part of that is being able to figure out where and how you can be utilized, or how you can be beneficial to that person in your network. Because for example, me and Lauren, we worked together, have been for a long time, not necessarily on a case-by-case basis where every time something happens, we have to sit down, we have to say, hey, what are you getting out of this? What am I getting out of this? It's like, we have built a rapport where we have a general, what's called an MOU, or Memorandum of Understanding, that says, hey, if there's expressive arts that deals with digital media, you're my guy, and whatever else comes of that, let's just move out with you. Yeah. And and of course not every conversation can be that fluid, but we were both fortunate enough to have each other in our network that made it go, hey, she's put mad money in my pocket, right? Just from, hey, I got this opportunity, hey, come along with me. Me throwing these events over the course of the last month, like, this was a network. We collaborated on these things. And when you become a part of a network that sees your significance, you see their significance, they see your significance, that's the best working relationship that you could ever get into. You know what I'm saying? But I like that you said that. Got a question for my man?
Was it a question? I was gonna keep talking.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it could be.
Sure. My bad.
No, I like that you said that too, because it's important to realize that there's no way impossible that you can do everything within your business to sustain it and to grow it. And I think that that is a lesson that a lot of entrepreneurs stumble across, and they're kind of at the end of themselves, and they're like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't have any money, there's no way I can put out another product or another, and they're just kind of stuck. So I think by you having that insight, knowing before you even start, like, no, I'm gonna need a team. Like, I need a network. I need somebody that I can rely on, somebody that can support me and I can support them. Like, moving kind of like to what Jarrell said in the beginning, focusing on community and building that and ensuring that that is strong in order for you to grow. Because there's some type of quote where if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far. Okay, yeah. So having that mindset is awesome starting off, and knowing that you can always ask for help, because I think that as entrepreneurs, there is this space and opportunity where we feel like we have to be our best selves. We have to be the expert. We have to be the professional. We have to be the best. And to some aspect, yeah, you do. Especially when you're promoting your business and your stuff online, or when you're meeting potential clients, yeah, you do. But there's a space and opportunity where you need to be honest and vulnerable and transparent and be like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I know how to do this, but I don't like doing this. And being able to say, these are the things that I love doing. These are the things that I don't like doing. These are the things that I'm good at. These are the things that I'm struggling with. What are you good at? What are you doing? And learning how to get to what Jarrell was saying about that exchange. And knowing that your intellect and your creativity is like one of your biggest assets as an entrepreneur. Like, you have this vision for yourself. You know what you want to do. You have this cultural connection. You have the reason why you want to start this business. Holding on to that and not losing sight of that, and linking with people who are in alignment with that, are extremely important within your network too, because there's a million gazillion folks that do media. There's a million gazillion folks that do mental health. There's a million gazillion folks that do stickers. But knowing like the people behind the projects and the people behind the businesses, and ensuring that your spirit and your soul, your creativity is in alignment with them, that helps you sync and secure and move forward with that. So always trust your gut as far as building your network.
Absolutely.
But
And I
go
have
ahead.
a question to piggyback directly off of what you said. So, like, how did you get to a place to where you knew that you wanted to venture into entrepreneurship, that you wanted your own?
Oh, that's a good question.
To have your own situation. How did you get there?
How to say this? Like, I've always been a creative ever since I was young. Like, I think I picked up a pencil like when I was 5, and I started like drawing all the things I saw, like whether it was cars, kitchen tables, food, anything. So when I was like coming out of middle school during summer, like I did programs all around the county. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of SLOTH or anything like that. Or
yeah.
So I did some of those, and they kind of opened my eyes to these kinds of programs, right? So I realized, hey, maybe like I could be a creative and run something that, could turn into something bigger or, along the line. So I started taking it seriously like last year.
Okay.
Yeah, like when COVID hit, I was like, maybe like now's the time to, start honing my skills, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's how I got into everything. But hey, now I'm trying to bring it into fruition. So
that's dope. So it's basically like you got exposure. And that's what I think the dopest part about Crew as well, because and we still got some spots open too.
We do still have spots.
Y'all got some high school students.
Matter of fact, not just spots, we have scholarship spots available.
Scholarship, y'all hear that? That means you can come for free. Like, we gonna make sure that y'all touching bases. But I think that is probably one of the coolest parts about Crew as well, because to be completely honest, Lauren put into perspective what entrepreneurship look like, right? Being able to understand your personal skill set, your personal wisdom, your personal intellectual property, and being able to market that to people as your own entity. Like that was the first exposure that I had to understanding that and realizing that the skills that you have are high value skills. Most of the time that we understand our high value skills, it's to go and work for some major corporation or whatever. But you know, when as a creative, I think that's probably the difference maker for me, is because I'm so fluid in how I like to move, so fluid and so expansive in the things I like to do. A job isn't going to be satisfactory for me but for so long. Because every job that I've been in, it has its excitement, it has its thrills, it has all of that. I'm gathering new information and learning new skills and all that. But then you hit a point where it's like, but you're showing me a ceiling. And I don't really like that. Like, I don't like being able to, you telling me for the next 5 to 10 years of my life, I know how much I'm going to make, my maximum capacity of how much I can make, what I'm going to be doing. You're basically outlining my trajectory for me. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people that work well in that. I just got these skills. I just need a place to let them off. I don't care how that happens. But for creatives, which I feel like all of us here sitting at the table are, it's different. We see it. We're big picture people. We see it way differently. So when you get into a space where you understanding yourself, which a lot of mental wellness comes in self-awareness, like understanding what your wants and your needs are, I realized that for a long term, now don't get me wrong, if somebody want to offer me a 6-figure check that come off of the company, I ain't gonna say no. I'm gonna be like, cool. But the first thing that I do as I get in the door is figure out how I'm gonna position myself and let them know that I'm still my own thing. I'm still my own entity. So though I'm working for you at this moment, just know that you don't have control over me and what I got going on. You're privileged to be a part of what I got going on, and I'm privileged to be a part of what you got going on. And when that no longer is privilege for both of us, I can't be here anymore. And I feel like a lot of people get stagnant in the idea of stability for somebody else, because I know Lauren can attest to this. Entrepreneurship, take the word stability out of your vocabulary. And it sounds harsh because I know we're millennials, so we had baby or like boomer parents that was the whole idea of life. Grow up, get stability, right? Stability, and let me rephrase that. You'll find stability, but stability is not gonna look the same as a 9 to 5, right? It's not. It's just not. It's not. Like, some parts of me miss that level of stability. Like not being able to have to think about where money coming from, not being able to think, not in constant pursuit. You can kind of get in, you can put on cruise control if you got a job. Like, for the next 2 months, I'm just going to mentally check out. I know I'm going to go to work every day. I'm going to get off every day. My job isn't super strenuous because, not to say that everybody's job is like that, but most jobs, most 9 to 5s, because you're a part of an organization, you only have one thing to do. This is your only thing to do. I'm going to do this. But when you're an entrepreneur, you got to do everything. So that stability that comes with a job, you can get it in entrepreneurship too, but it's not going to look the same. I want to give you the good and the bad part. We will get more of it as we go through crew and we talk about different stuff. Yeah. But being equipped with the knowledge and understanding what it's going to look like is going to make it a lot less shell shock when it actually happens. Because I know for me, it was shell shock. It was like, so you telling me I don't get a check every 2 weeks? Is that what you're telling me? You telling me that I have to budget with what comes in for that month? And this month may look different from next month. Like, that's a lot of different things, a lot of different pressures that most people, some people, a lot of people may not want to take on. But as a creative, it's like we see the strengths of being free to do and create and collaborate and all that stuff, man. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad to hear your perspective. Like I'm really, and me and Lauren talked about it. We really like your self-starter mentality. We really like your ability to just come in and mesh and just start soaking up, being inclusive in all the things that we're doing. Like, you gonna be all right, Jordan. You gonna be all right. And y'all make sure y'all look out for this man, cause have you come up with like a name yet, or you still kind of flowing with your brand and stuff? I know we talked about colorology last week, so.
I'll get back to y'all on that.
Okay.
It's all good. But just make sure y'all watch out for Jordan, man. He's gonna be out here doing great things. Once he gets himself established, you know, he's definitely gonna be doing projects for Propel and the Grillsphere and SLOTH Lounge. And he's gonna bring some friends through and they're gonna figure out their best life too.
Yup. Do you have any questions for us?
When did both of y'all start your businesses? Yeah. That's only a question.
You can start that one.
So I started my first business, Propel Production Center, while still in grad school in 2013. Yes, Jordan made a face about my 20.
He said I was in.
He was like, "Wait a minute, 2013." That I guess that has been a while, but
yeah, she's old, bro.
yes, no, I'm not. I was saying yes to continuing conversation. Thank you, Jordan. We're both millennials here, so yes. But I really use school to my advantage, especially in college where you get to choose what you want to do and like take the classes you want to take. So in grad school, knowing like, okay, I've decided I want to be a social worker, but knowing that I don't want to work for anybody and I want to figure out how to work for myself, I took business classes too. So there was an entrepreneurship certification that I got, and one of the assignments was kind of like, you need to create a business plan. So I kind of come up with all the structure and stuff with Propel Production Center, and it actually started off as a bakery.
Oh, for real?
I actually almost didn't go to grad school for social work. I almost went to baking and pastry school, but I decided that Propel was going to be a bakery. So people were going to come in, they were going to learn baking and pastry skills, they were going to get their certifications, and then they were going to get internships to different local businesses. And we were just going to kind of flow through and teach them and train them and place them. And that'll still happen. So be on the lookout. But coming out of grad school, I didn't have any baking, cooking, like kitchen stuff. And that stuff is expensive. And coming out of grad school, I moved back home. So I was about to bring strangers to my parents' house to cook. So I had to rely on the skills that I had, which was dance. I danced all through college, all through grad school. I love choreography. So for Propel, the first programs I did was just teaching dance and talking about mental health through movement. So I had enough money in between 2013 and when I actually incorporated in 2016, because it takes money to file with the state and file with the feds.
It does.
So those 3 years, I was working a traditional 9-to-5, putting money aside, planning to move out to get an apartment, but also the proceeds that I got through dance went towards funding Propel. So started in 2013, but became officially incorporated in 2016. And in 2020, we opened the Smash Room, Remix Rage Smash Room. And then 2022, we opened the SLOTH Wellness Lounge. So those have been my staple years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically was along for the ride for the majority of the latter part, post incorporating Propel Productions.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school and I so all through grade school, I was in like science and tech and all this other stuff. So everybody's telling me going to STEM. STEM's where, and of course, you know, and I have friends that are in STEM now and are making good money and all that good stuff, working for other people. But you know, I realized it was like an epiphany prior to going into school, into college, that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I can't wake up every morning thinking to myself, hey, I'm going to be a chemical, because that's what I went to college for originally, chemical engineering. So I was like, that ain't what I want to do in my life. Like, and so just once again, divine intervention. I ended up as a communications major at A&T, and kind of the rest is history. But one thing that really stuck out to me is two pivotal moments that stuck out to me that put me in path for where I'm at now. The first one was in my internship class senior year. We basically had to do a presentation about what do we want to do with our life. And what my interim dean, who was the teacher in the professor in my class at the time, was looking for is what company are you tailoring your resume to go work for? What position in an organization, in the business, and whatever, and and being that I'm in communication, that's like news, that's entertainment, that's you want to be, part of the communication department for Fortune 500, whatever that case may be. And my thoughts, my vision that I presented was I want to create a black Disney. I work with kids for most of my young professional career, and even somewhere after college, I also worked with kids. I went and became a teacher as well. But when I came to college, by my senior year, I'm like, yo, I want to do something for black youth that is, positive images, but that does it all, like a conglomerate. They got the music, they got the content, they got the merch, they got everything, but just positive black content for black youth. And my teacher said, yo, that is great. I like that idea. That's so awesome. That's amazing. But who you about to go work for, though? That was the question. Like, oh, but what? No, she said, but what are you going to do in the meantime? And when you're not coming from a space of knowing what entrepreneurship truly takes, everybody that isn't an entrepreneur talks about, make sure you have a plan B. Make sure you have a plan B. And it's like, people that actually get their plan A accomplished, they're like, how am I supposed to get plan A accomplished if I'm working on plan B too? So it automatically put me at a real place of like, this don't seem like right, because you telling me to not follow my dreams and to go put energy and put effort and put my skill set and all of that and work into something else that's also going to take a lot. Because I'm not saying that people that get prominent careers in companies or whatever don't also put a lot of work in. It's just different. So the way that they proposed that, I was just like, yeah, that's not it. That's not it. But I didn't have no avenues, as you talked about, didn't really have no exposure. So I went into teaching, loved the classroom, loved that, but still the bureaucracy, the fact of having a boss and like the boss not always knowing what's in your best interest and not really caring about what's in your best interest, they're what's in the best interest of the company. So Lauren's like, hey, I got this program called Beautiful Like Me. I just started this organization called Propel Production Center. We already knew each other prior to from a previous job. But she's like, yeah, I got this idea, and this is what we trying to do. I know you said you do this. Come and help. Cool. Once again, coming in just as an individual contractor, helping out me and my fiance, who is now my fiance. That was actually our first collaborative project together. Working on Beautiful
Look
Like
at
Me.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
So
It's been a long time in the making. So, we hit that and did a great job. So good that Mama T, she was doing another program with younger kids, and she said, hey, bring that over to these kids and let's do this same thing. So basically we did a whole like expressive arts where they learned the song, they got the, is that my phone ringing? Mm-hmm. Yes, because it's frozen. Hey, could you just go hit, never mind, it's gone.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, like, we taught them how to songwrite. We recorded them, so we did, in-house recording. We shot a music video. That was the first program that we worked together on, and then every program thereafter that involved media arts, Lauren's like, yo, I got another program. What you doing? Come through. Yep. And so after a while of doing that, she's like, yo, we gonna get you to whereas you are your own company. Like, and I had no vision for that. I had no understanding. Me and Lauren literally sat and just walked through it. We got this big opportunity that ended up being no opportunity. It was pretty funny, but like took a leap of faith because opportunity presented itself, and in order for me to optimize the opportunity, I needed a business to be, you know, a partner. You know, when we talk, and y'all that watch, y'all see, you know, when we put flyers up, there's multiple logos on the flyer. That just shows our collaborative economics, our cooperative economics. So she's like, in order for you to be optimized here, you need your own business. So in the process of that, set up the business, end up quitting my job, and it's been on ever since. So officially 1 year as of April 19th, I would have been an entrepreneur. But it was, like you said, it's years and years in the making before you even have enough to even step out into that. So I think you're getting a little bit of a head start.
A little bit of a head start.
A little bit of a head start to know that once your stuff start rolling, once you get them ideas down, bro, we gonna be with you every step of the way to make sure that you optimize success for your business, bro.
Cool.
So that answers when I officially, April 19th of 2021 was my induction into entrepreneurship.
And for me, although I started with my entrepreneurial career in Propel, I always had a gig, full-time, part-time, multiple jobs, all the way up until May 2020. So I've always had a.
Because you was working.
I've always had
downtown too. I mean, in Baltimore.
Baltimore, DC. I always had a gig. But 2020 was when I was like, yeah, I'm not contracting under anybody anymore. It was a very toxic time for, I think, all healthcare professionals. But
everybody was trying to get a job, man.
I was like, y'all running us
rampant. We need a job, man.
But yeah, so it's okay to do both. It's okay to, you need some stability. You need some experience. You need some friends, some relationships that you don't necessarily get as an entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur, it's just you and your laptop or your pad and your phone, and you're going to work. So you kind of miss that cooler, like water cooler, like hangout, happy hour, or like let's grab lunch type of relationships that you have in a more traditional space. So it's important to build relationships. You mentioned networks, so school, internships, you mentioned summer youth employment, them being mindful of like, I need to start creating a Rolodex of people that I can rely on and build on. I need to start creating a system of mentors that I can call and shoot emails to, because every job that I've had, well, maybe not every job, but a lot of the jobs that I've had, I have people, like there's people I've met and I can pull from.
About this, watch this. So I was working at Joe's. That was my last official 9-to-5 job. I was the program coordinator for Creative Works. So from there, I met Miss Linda, right? And me doing what I was on, and actually even further than that, you were the one. Lauren actually came across the Creative Works, the program coordinator position being advertised, and she sent that to me.
I was like, yo, you need to.
I think what we did, I literally during the same time that I'm doing my interview stuff, we end up having to do another program with Creative Works. So like while I'm literally interviewing for the job, I'm also an entrepreneur as a part of contracting with Propel Productions to do programming for Creative Works. Get the job, meet Miss Linda, you remember, did you meet Miss Brittany? I don't think so. She probably was already gone by then. Yeah. But so I met Miss Linda, and in the same front, I'm working at Creative Works. I say, yo, we have mental health services that we have access to in our network. Lauren continued doing classes with that. We ended up starting 2021 season. That's what right? Oh. 2020.
Yeah. Wait, it's 2022 now?
So that meant 2021 because that was before.
But we did Amplify right? too. I feel like it was 2021.
2021. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So 2021, we both end up, because I was also teaching digital media, program coordinator. Lauren was coming in doing mental health stuff. We ended up both being a part of their Amplify series. And then ironically, Miss Linda, who no longer is at shows, sent you over. So it's like how intricate this network has become in the success of everybody in all parties. And please believe, Miss Linda, if you're watching us, you coming. We just waiting. We trying to figure out we're gonna get you in the mix. Cause she's a great lady and she knows a lot and she knows a lot of people.
She's like the ultimate plug.
Stupid, crazy, dumb. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. So, any other final questions about this, bro? Any other
or
questions?
statements?
Statements. What you want to say to the people? Anything? Just give us out your last words.
Statement to the people out there. I'm coming, but that's it. I'm glad to be on this podcast. I'll be back, I think, and yeah, thank you.
Facts, bro.
Boom.
I like it, bro.
Speaking that over himself, and I'm here for it.
I like it, bro.
He said he gonna be back. He gonna be back.
He gonna be back. He gonna be back. Y'all gotta watch his progress, man. Y'all will see a lot more of Jordan and all the other things we got going on with Artful Conductor TV. So make sure y'all are following, subscribe. Make sure you hit that reminder button so you're getting all the drops as we drop.
Yep.
As always, Lauren, this has been always dope, man. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's only up from here, man. Like, I'm so excited and anxiously anticipating like what it is that is going to ultimately come of everybody's company, because we've been putting work in, bro, and this seeds are growing, sprouts are popping out, showing us like, yo, you don't got the forest just yet. But it's coming.
Yes. Oh.
It's coming.
Oh. And.
Did she just poke me?
With the pen.
The pen. And not only are seeds just sprouting, not only is our network building, but the network that we have is with owners, executive directors, CEO, COO. Like, nobody in our network that we dealing with is I don't want to say lower level, but we dealing with owners. We're dealing with directors.
Like, with all bosses,
when Jordan is talking to us, he's talking directly to the owner. When he's talking to Jarrell, he's talking directly to the owner. When we talk to Jordan, we're talking directly to the owner of his company. Like, we don't have to be like, can you please CC your Nah.
We don't need nobody to.
We dealing with
check what's
decision makers are at the table right here.
To tell us that, okay, this is okay to work with Jordan. This is okay to work with Lauren. Like, we sitting in a position where we are making those decisions,
and that's unheard of, because
you gonna get spoiled, because once
he is gonna get spoiled.
Because see, have you had like a regular?
He is gonna get spoiled.
Job yet?
No. I'm only doing programs here and there. No real.
So you gonna be mad spoiled, bro, because you haven't even been experienced in being an employee under people. Mm-hmm. That's a privilege. And I don't want you to take that lightly, bro, but look at it as a privilege and not like an inhibition, not nothing that's holding you back. It's something that's propelling you forward, because you're way further along than a lot of other people your age, bro. And I said it before, but I'm super excited to see what it is that's gonna come and how we gonna collaborate. Because it's not like, for y'all who haven't signed up for crew, that I know you're coming, all your high schoolers that's ready to become entrepreneurs too. Yep. It's not like you finish crew and then we just, hey, Jordan, have a good one. I'm glad you got what you got out of it. Go be great. Nah, bro, you working in the system, and we're gonna talk about some more stuff too offline. Because I got
I'm about to say, don't tell them everything. If you part of crew, sign up. But we about to talk.
It's free, bro.
Come through. We got some scholarships.
That's what I'm saying.
It's free.
Come through. Become an entrepreneur. Become your own boss. Let's get money.
Well, I want to thank our special guest Jordan for joining us at Feeling Triggered, and of course my boy Jarrell for joining me. And it's your girl Lauren here at Feeling Triggered Podcast. We hope that you join us next time, and be sure to watch all the things that Girls Fair posts on Artful Conductor TV, and check us out at the SLOTH Wellness Lounge for all of our upcoming events. And if you're curious, follow us. Click the link in my bio on Instagram at Propel Production Center, and you can click the events calendar to see what's coming up here at the SLOTH Lounge.
So much. Can we do? You want to do? We got to do a quick church announcement. I mean, we running out of time, but we ain't really do a church announcement yet.
Okay.
You just want to run? Can you just run a couple of things that we coming in the
All
next
right.
month. Probably
I feel like I need to
potentially
just-
before the next time we see
me
them.
hydrate.
Let's just stick to the things that potentially will happen between now and the next time that we might see them, which
Okay.
will be maybe 2 to 3 weeks. We'll see how that goes. But give them the spirit. Sloth Wellness Lounge event calendar. Boom, you on.
So every last Wednesday of the month, we have instructor Martina that's gonna be walking us through belly dancing.
Belly dancing. So all my ladies that want to try to, work out, get in shape.
All the
up
fellas,
still,
if you want to strengthen that core, that
listen,
pelvic.
Just personally, me, bro, I ain't about to be belly dancing, bro. But if that's your thing, though, come through because it's here, it's happening. We got a professional belly dancing instructor. She gonna bring in all the vibes, you know what I'm saying, everything like that. So make sure you got, what's that, $15 a class?
Yep.
15,
And everything that we're
$15.
saying, you can find us on Eventbrite too.
Eventbrite, and also, like she said, hit the link in Propel Production bio to get the event calendar. So boom,
So that's that.
What else we got?
Then every first Wednesday afternoon, we have Blurty by Nature.
Blurty by Nature? What is that?
Well, Jarrell, Blurty by Nature is it's going to be a space here at the lounge where if you're feeling very blurty, if you're a black nerd and you want to come here, you want to watch your anime, you want to read your comics, you want to watch your movies, you want to stream some videos, you want to play some games, whether they're board games or whether they're electronic games with the system. We just want to provide a space for you to exist and support and, find your tribe, find your friends here. So it's very affordable. I want to say it's $8. So
come on, man.
And the space is lit. It's all vibes. Check our Instagram if you want to see photos and images of what it looks like. But that's every first Wednesday.
First Wednesday of the month.
Blurty by Nature.
Come through. I'll be there too.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Like
Yes.
it. All right. So what else we got? Is that the last thing? We got one more. One more thing.
Yes. So Propel Bosses is every second Friday here at the Sloth Wellness Lounge.
Yeah.
It's warming up now, so that means the fire pit.
Fireside chat, baby.
So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an artist and you're looking for some space where you can just woosah, talk about all of the stress or pressure of being an entrepreneur, if you want to network with bosses, executive directors, owners, we're going to be at the fire. So come through. It's $20 a person. And we also have a clinician that will lead us through a conversation. So last time we talked about burnout.
Boy, that was a good conversation too. That was a good comment.
Listen, so everybody, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, if you're an artist, you need to be at Propel Bosses. Like your mental health, your emotional wellness to sustain your entity depends on you being mentally sound and emotionally well and secure in your network. So you need to be here.
And on top of that, as a part of being a Propel Boss, you also get other opportunities such as being a part of our exclusive vendor list.
That's
that puts you at the forefront and at the first right of refusal for any Propel Boss, any Propel Productions, Grill Sphere, Sloth Wellness Lounge event. Anytime we have vendors, our Propel Bosses are the first ones to get that opportunity. So make sure that if you are someone who has something to offer in any capacity, you become a Propel Boss so that we can make sure that your skills, your business, your vision gets to the people, man, because that's what we do. We all about collaborating and networking and putting people in position.
And speaking of, this is the last one. But since we brought up political candidate Sherman Hardy earlier, I had to represent and say that he's going to be hosting an event here at the Sloth Wellness Lounge on April 24th. Yes, it's going to be a plant swap with Sherman. So if you don't know what a plant swap is, I didn't know what a plant swap is, but pretty much you can you can bring your plants, you can bring your trimmings, your seeds, your pots, and you join the community and you exchange different plants and pots and seeds. And there'll also be vendors that are focused on aromatherapy, environmental wellness, crystals, sage, that type of vibe. So that will be here, and the tickets are on Eventbrite, and portion of the tickets benefits his political campaign, and then a portion of the tickets benefits the Sloth Wellness Lounge. So Artesian Enterprise, Mama T, all of them. Awesome. So definitely come out, meet a political candidate. It's not every day we get to meet the folks that are running.
Ask him some real questions.
So
See
come
what he
out,
really talking about, what
meet
he really want
him.
to do with his life, what he
Exactly.
really want to do with his campaign. Absolutely.
So, we blackity black
Blackity
over here.
black,
So we
black,
want
black
our people
over here.
informed, and we want our people making educated decisions about who's running stuff. So that event's coming out.
And very last but not least, for my fellas, all my gentlemen bosses out there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can be a boss. You can be a boss in training. You could be, a boss in transition. Whatever it is that you are, all my gentlemen, we have the Vices Gentlemen Social.
True.
What is that? It's every
Last
Thursday of the month. So we are having one on March the 31st. All right. So come through. Just a bunch of guys, man, just having a good time. Great support and advocacy and collaboration and networking and all that good stuff, man. We had somewhat of that for Mr. Jones, Mike Jones' birthday.
Yeah.
What was that, in November?
It was, yeah.
What, November?
But the fellas been talking about it
You know
though
what
ever
I'm saying?
since.
Ever since we had this event, because, Lauren has become somewhat of a savant when it comes to putting on events. So she threw this gentleman's, what did you call that? It was like Dapper or something?
Yeah. Some gentleman social.
Some gentleman social. So she put on this gentleman social for Mike's birthday. Shout out Mike Jones. And he's the one who actually runs the Sloth Wellness page. Live the Sloth page. So for his birthday, she threw this gentleman's social, and it was dope vibes. I mean, we had cigars. We had
the fellas was looking
the
dapper.
Top, we had the top shelf, the medium shelf whiskeys, and the cognac. It's just
the
real
cigars.
nice, gentlemanly type of vibe. I loved it. It was great. So I'm looking forward to this next one. Of course, Jordan can come, but he can't really participate.
He can't partake, but he can talk.
He can talk, but he can come and become under the tutelage of a bunch of male bosses, grown men bosses that are doing their prospective things in their prospective industry. So if you're a man boss, I want to put that on record because, and I only keep saying that because there's not a lot of spaces for us, Jordan. A lot of things that's happening now, it's either all-inclusive, where it makes it seem like, it's almost taboo for us to do stuff just for us. So Lauren, who is constantly making sure everybody is getting an equal representation, because if y'all can go back in the archives a little bit, we had an all-male Feeling Trigger episode where Lauren was the only woman on there. She brought a couple of our men propelled bosses on there, and kind of just let us talk, like facilitated the conversation very well, didn't take the opportunity to try to give the female perspective and none of that, gave us a safe space to just talk and vibe and all that stuff. So Gentleman Social is going to be just like that. I think y'all gonna end up seeing her in the commercial. She might be up there serving drinks. You never know. You never know with Sloth Wellness Lounge. So we just gonna keep it funky. But is that all?
I think that's all of the immediate church announcement.
I think so.
Okay,
Make sure you subscribe to Artful Conductor TV. Make sure you go check out For the Love podcast. That dropped 2 episodes last month. Hopefully we'll be back to y'all. If not this month, then definitely next month. The Chronicles of J123 will be back at you next month as well. But you got plenty of content from us last month. We did a 5-part drop. So
it's binge worthy.
So you get like basically a whole season to binge before we pop back out with our next episodes. So just make sure you stay plugged in. Follow Propel Production Center on Instagram. Follow Live the Sloth on Instagram. Follow Remix Radio Smash Room on Instagram. Follow Jarrell the Grill. Follow Into the Grill Sphere on Instagram. Jordan, you got Instagram or anything you want people to plug in, people?
Not business-like, but that's coming soon. So
that's right.
Cool.
Stay tuned.
He said you gotta come back off the grid until I'm ready, because he want to present professional.
I respect that.
He want to present and let y'all know what he got going on in a real professional way. So check out Jordan coming soon on all your platforms and all
but
that
regardless,
stuff,
you're gonna check out Jordan during this pitch competition.
Oh yeah, he gonna do the pitch competition. For sure. And and of course, we ain't even gonna talk about the little baby doc that the crew, the inaugural episode, the inaugural season of Crew is gonna be putting out prior to the pitch. The picture's just gonna be the, you know.
Right.
That's gonna be the icing on the cake. So y'all just stay tuned in, man, because
y'all got a lot coming at you. They got a lot.
2022 with SLOTH, with Propel, with Griosphere, with Artesian Enterprises. I mean, the works, man. Our man Justin, y'all remember Justin from last episode. Justin gonna be back with us sometime. Napier. We gotta get Sierra on too, because Sierra actually, Justin been on twice. Sierra ain't been on one time.
That's true.
Yet. So
there's a couple of ladies that I want to bring on here.
Yeah, we make sure that because Lauren sees that it's a little bit of missing space for us black men in this whole conversation and mental health and stuff. We don't really get that.
I know.
So she want to make sure she giving that. But our ladies, we gonna have some things coming for y'all too. So make sure y'all stay tuned, man. Anything else we got for them before we get up out of here, man?
No, I don't think so. No, I'm trying to run through my tabs. If you're an entrepreneur, you probably have a million tabs open in your mind. Let me run through these tabs. I think that's it.
I think that's it, man. Well, until next time, this is Feeling Triggered. I go by Jarrell T.G.
And it's your girl, Lauren Jones.
And we got our boy
NewBlood Jordan here.
Okay.
New blood in the mix. Y'all be easy, man. Blessings and favor.
Malfunction. System override. I'm feeling triggered.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lauren Jones with Propel Production Center.
And I'm Jarrell T.G. with the Griosphere Productions.
And we are collaborating to bring you Artful Conductor TV. So make sure you subscribe, you hit that like button, the notification bell, all the other things that YouTube is probably making you do at this point to make sure you're in the know of when we drop new content for you.
Why? Because if you ain't in the know, then it's a no.
I don't know if that's gonna stick. I don't.
I'm gonna just leave that because I like